Being a Bills fan lately has felt like this constant mix of belief and frustration. You watch this team and you know we're close, like painfully close. But there's still this glaring hole that keeps showing up when it matters most. And today, something started floating around that made me stop, sit back, and really think about where this team is headed. Because if this thing is even remotely real, it changes the entire conversation about this offense, about the window we're in, and about how serious Buffalo really is about going all the way. It's one of those situations where you hear it, and your first reaction is, no way. But what if? I'm not saying it's likely. I'm not saying it's easy. But it's big enough that every Bills fan should at least be talking about it. Before we get into it, do me a favor. If you're a real Bills fan who lives and dies with this team like I do, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Bills Nation Update is brand new. We're pushing toward our first goal of 1,000 subscribers. And this is just fans talking Bills. No fluff. All right. Let's talk about what just came up and why it could be one of the wildest what-if moments we've had in a long time. There have been rumblings around the league that Justin Jefferson isn't completely happy with his situation with the Minnesota Vikings. And if that's even remotely true, the Buffalo Bills have to be paying attention. When a player of that caliber is even possibly available, you don't ignore it. You make the call. Production-wise, 2025 was considered a down year for him, which is honestly crazy when you look at the numbers. He still finished with 84 receptions for 1 through 48 yards, but only 2 touchdowns. And that had a lot less to do with him and a lot more to do with what was happening at quarterback. J.J. McCarthy struggled as the Vikings' starting QB, and that inconsistency clearly affected the entire offense. Now just take a second and really picture this. What does Justin Jefferson look like catching passes from Josh Allen, the reigning MVP, a quarterback who thrives when he has a true alpha receiver on the outside? That thought alone should make every Bills fan lean in a little. This is a wide receiver who has never had fewer than 1,000 receiving yards in any of his 6 NFL seasons. Never. His best year came in 2022, 128 catches, 1,809 yards, 8 touchdowns. He's also hit double-digit receiving touchdowns twice, in 2021 and again in 2024. That's superstar production no matter who's been throwing him the football. Now look at where the Bills are at wide receiver right now. Since the team moved on from Stephon Diggs after the 2023 season, the leading receiver has been Khalil Shakir, whose career high is 821 yards back in 2024. And I like Shakir, I really do. But that stat tells the whole story. Josh Allen has been carrying this passing game without a true number 1 threat on the outside. Someone defenses have to game plan around. And that's exactly what Justin Jefferson is. There's also a layer to this that makes it even more interesting for Buffalo. The potential reunion with Joe Brady, the Bills head coach. Those two already have history, and not just any history, special history. Back in 2019 at LSU, Joe Brady was the offensive passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach. That team went on to win the national championship, led by Joe Burrow, and Justin Jefferson was unbelievable. 111 catches, 1,540 yards, and 18 touchdowns. That wasn't an accident. That was chemistry and development. And Jefferson himself has said it. On a recent episode of the Sports Seriously podcast, he credited Joe Brady for a huge part of his growth, saying Brady was a big reason he became a first-round pick. When a superstar says something like that publicly, it matters. Now here's where reality sets in. A trade like this would cost a lot. We're talking at least 1 first-round pick, Probably more. Just look at history. When the Kansas City Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins in 2022, Miami had to give up a first, a second, and a fourth-round pick in that draft, plus a fourth and a sixth the following year. And then there's the salary cap, the biggest hurdle of all. According to SpotTrack, the Bills are currently about $10 million over the salary cap, which sits somewhere between $301 and $305 million. There are ways to create space, but Justin Jefferson's contract is massive, a $38, $9 million cap hit in 2026, $43.4 million in 2027, and $47.4 million in 2028. That's not a small decision. That's an all-in type of move. It forces tough choices across the roster. So, yeah, if we're being honest, this is probably a long shot, maybe even a pipe dream. But it's also the kind of move that changes everything. Pairing Josh Allen with Justin Jefferson would completely reshape this offense and instantly put the league on notice. Even if it never happens, the fact that this conversation exists tells you exactly where the Bills are and exactly what they're missing. And that's really what this all comes down to. This isn't just about one player. This is about where the Buffalo Bills are right now. This team is in its Super Bowl window, whether people like it or not. Josh Allen is in his prime. The pressure from the front office is real. The expectations from the fan base are even louder. And every single year that ends without a ring makes the margin for patience smaller. A move like this would be risky, no doubt. It would cost draft picks, cap flexibility, and probably force some tough decisions elsewhere on the roster. But it would also send a message to the locker room, to the league, and to Josh Allen that the Bills are done playing it safe. Because let's be honest as fans, we've seen what this team looks like without a true game-changing wide receiver. We've also seen what happens when defenses don't fear anyone on the outside. If Buffalo is serious about maximizing this window, these are the kinds of swings you at least have to consider. Is it likely? Probably not. Is it complicated? Absolutely. But is it exciting? Man, 100%. And sometimes championships are won by the teams willing to dream big and take a real shot. Now I want to hear from you. Would you push the chips in for a move like this? Or is it too much of a gamble? Drop your take in the comments. I read all of them, and I genuinely want to know how Bills fans feel about this. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're a Bills fan who wants honest opinions and real conversations, subscribe to Bills Nation Update. The channel is brand new. We're grinding toward our first goal of 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you helps build this thing. Appreciate you for watching. Go Bills!